Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning. Sorry, I was just dropping my son off at school. I couldn't answer. morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. I guess we're early.
Early is good.
Who's that?
This is Jay Levine, New Jersey.
Jay Levine. Mike Moran here, Jay Levine.
Hey, Mike Moran. Mike Moran, you got a very recognizable voice.
Thank you, my friend.
You should do radio.
I do.
Well, that's perfect.
I have a podcast company.
I love that.
Yeah. For all those people who don't want to do it, I do it for them.
I think that's super cool. I actually, I think that's an amazing career. I would love to do voiceovers for a living. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a crazy business.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Do you work out of? Do you have like a studio in the house that you work out of?
Yeah, I have a home studio, and I just started getting customers already. I don't even have my website built.
That's even better.
It's crazy. So
what is
a lot of.
We got Mike Moran.
Hey there, Fernando. All right.
Levine. Is that what that sounds like?
That's correct.
Beautiful. What is happening, people? What else we got on the call? We got Jim. We got Todd. You're awesome, man. You're here. Rocking with us. We got Ron. Like, what is happening? Who is? What are we feeling? What are we thinking on Trajectory Tuesday? What are some of the things that we're accomplishing? Like, let's steer the conversation on, like, what are we doing this week? What are some accomplishments? What are some ecosystems that we're looking to merge with? So who would like to share just to start getting us in the flow? What are some things that we accomplished this week?
Hey, Fernando, it's Todd. Can you hear me okay?
Hey, what's up, brother? Yeah.
Awesome. I've wanted to jump on so many calls and speak, but everyone wants to grab the mic real quick, which is awesome.
Please.
One thing that happened 2 weeks ago is we have our own furniture brand in stores. One thing that I needed to do was merge with the right partners, ecosystem, things of that nature. I kid you not, the 1 week, the largest realtor in town, I had talked about how I needed to meet with them and I was going to manifest it that week. I went to his office 2 times, kind of got the strong arm. I went to the gym and I went there later than I usually go. I did more cardio than I usually do, and guess who came into the gym?
Nice.
That realtor that I wanted to merge ecosystems with. After I talked to him, I kind of backed off because I thought of how to take hello to yes, and I kind of backed off because I didn't want to sound needy or anything like that. And at the end of the conversation, I just let him go, and he asked for my number, and we've got a meeting set up for next week, which I think is so cool.
I wish I can cue the music, bug out, and go crazy, brother. And congratulations. That is the beginnings of ecosystem mergers. I'm not confused on your ability to build rapport. So congratulations, man. You deserve that. And, this goes to you, but I'm not only speaking to you, I'm speaking to everyone. Grab the microphone. This is an equal community. We feel and understand. There's a lot of people that really speak up, and we love that. But I've told everyone that I've seen here at Date with Destiny, and I'll repeat to you, Todd, and to everyone on the call at this moment, please grab the microphone. This community is about you, your shares, your wins. And I just know that the community is better when you share that. So Todd, thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. And I'll tell you what, from when I met you at Milo's the first time a couple months ago, there was that special sauce that you had, and it's exciting to see who you are, who you're becoming, leading these calls. And man, you look like 28. I don't know. but to be that young again and be able to be, really submersed and around all these great people is awesome. So it's great to see your growth and where you're going.
Thank you. And yes, you hit it right on the head. I am 28 years old. Thank you. And I appreciate those words. I felt the same in you. We had an amazing talk in the backyard. You're kind, you're loving, you're caring, you're family oriented. So I am blessed to call you a friend, have you in this ecosystem. And what I love about you most is that you said you were going to do something. And I don't think I've seen you miss a call. So you're a type of man that does what he says. And that's insanely honorable.
Hey, Todd, Jay Levine. I'll make this an easy merger for you. If you'd like to merge ecosystems, give me a call. I'll have coffee with you anytime. I'm a realtor as well.
Awesome. Boom. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. So we'll merge
let's talk over the phone.
Awesome. That's good.
Lacking emotional rapport, but Jay, I give you an A+ for rocking it. But let's check in. It's 8:30. Welcome everyone. My name's Fernando. These are the morning huddles for Unblinded. I know a lot of people jump on that have never been on, and I realize that we don't have like a proper introduction. So yes, thank you. These calls are set for you. These calls are set for accountability, leadership, growth, and playing in the language of the formula. Yes, there's motivation. Yes, there's energy. But if that's all you walk away with, I believe that we have let you down. This is about mastering your language, sharpening your listening, and stepping into what we call integrity-based human influence. The formula of formulas, how to go from hello to yes, and have the fun and excitement of exponentially growing your sales. So every single day we are on from 8:30 to 9. We have weekly trainings from 6 to 7:30 on Wednesdays. All of these times are Eastern, and these calls are led by Sean Callaghy, Jared Yellen, Adam Gugino, and myself, Fernando Valencia, and tons of other leaders like Jay, like Todd, like Kelly, like Darcy, like Tia, like Craig. And it's an absolute honor and pleasure to create my day every single day, 5 days a week with all of you. So I always want to make sure we do a time check at 8:30. Mr. Callaghy, are you with us? Okay. So let's continue to move. I really want to keep the focus on ecosystem mergers. Today's Trajectory Tuesday. What you measure gets done. So what are some ecosystems that A, you've merged with that you'd like to share, or B, you'd like to merge with? Opportunity to have the power of the microphone. So who would like to share? What are some ecosystems that they're merging with? What are some ecosystems that they'd like to merge with? And please, as soon as Mr. Callaghy gets on. Yes, of course. Just 1 second. And please, I want you to take the microphone. Last one. As soon as 8:30 hits, let's please mute ourselves. A lot of us think we're muted and we're not. So as soon as 8:30 hits, in service of Mr. Callaghy, let's make sure we mute ourselves. And yes, that lovely voice, your name, who is speaking?
It's Krista. How are you?
Oh my goodness, Krista, what's happening?
So many things are happening.
What the
I am in exactly. I am in Atlantic City at the Triple Play.
Nice.
And I am with Teresa Feckerly, who is amazing. I mean, I already knew she was amazing, but she's an extraordinary person. And she has put me in front of super important people. These realtors are so receptive of me being down here. All they want to do is help me, and all I want to do is help them. And I couldn't be happier. And this was not by chance. This happened for a reason. And this is off to an amazing start down here. Teresa is also part of the National Realtor Association, which means that she gets bills passed to the White House. So I think that's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome. And
Go ahead.
And for everyone on the call, just so you know, Krista is an absolute influence mastery machine. Like, she came into Callaghy Law. She's friends with Teresa Pastorella, who's been in Callaghy Law for a long time, and she is fully immersed. She is a leader in the call center. She is like constantly driving, constantly thinking. She is in the game of expressing her thoughts every single day, because every time she does, it's worked out greatly. So Krista, thank you. That lovely baby voice. Oh my goodness, I love that.
After you finish breakfast, we'll eat Elmo.
But who else would like to share on this Trajectory Tuesday? What are some ecosystems that we'd like to merge with?
Thank you for that, Fernando.
You're very welcome, Krista. And what are some ecosystems that we have merged with? Who would like to go next?
Yeah. Hey, good morning, guys. Fernando, how are you, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, what's cooking? And so, yeah, please continue, and I'll jump in after the next. Anybody wants to share the ecosystem merger answer?
Beautiful. Anyone else? Go once.
Yeah, this is Kirk Adams, American Foundation for the Blind. And
What's up,
just
Kirk?
wanted-
How are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Kirk
I'm
Adams
just,
is in the house.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. So the merger, I had an opportunity to be on a webinar last night that Ben Fox pulled together. There are maybe 14, 16 members of the blindness community, almost all of whom I knew, but I met a couple of new folks, Orly in particular, who's very active on the Unblinded Movement Facebook group. But just giving them the little rundown on the trajectory, I heard your name, Sean, for the first time, I think, December last year. We met in January. I came out to Rhinebeck and experienced the results formula training in the late spring. You made a generous pledge to help us with our fundraising for a matching gift campaign, so we could get our work done, changing the landscape, creating a world of no limits for people who are blind. I think you did that in June or July, and you joined our board in September, came out to San Jose in November and met fellow board members. And now we have the event in January, which wasn't even, I don't think, a twinkle in anyone's eye when we first met in January. So just the speed, the power, the effectiveness, the inclusiveness that these ecosystems are merging is just something to behold. And I was telling folks last night that, the American Foundation for the Blind, we've been around since 1921. The employment rate for people who are blind is as bad as it's ever been. It hasn't changed. And you and I said, let's do some things different. Let's try some different things. Let's be disruptive. Let's just not do more of the same. And it's happening. So it's nice when a dream, a brainstorm, a concept becomes reality this quickly. And I appreciate everybody who's been involved, and the conversations we're having we wouldn't have had before, the people we're meeting we wouldn't have met before. It's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, no, Kirk, thank you so much. And so for everybody, let's play a quick fun game. And we can go live, either with Rando. Actually, let's go live, Jared. Jared, you out there, brother?
I am here, my friend. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here. Let's do it.
So awesome, brother. Yeah. So quick question would be, when people think ecosystem merging, they probably, on the one hand, can be like, oh, I get it, like a sort of an alignment that'll help bring about like some benefit. We'll come back to that later. Or they could just be like, I'm not really sure what you mean. So let's use the AFB, because the examples could be diverse. But for everybody, when you think of today, and you talk about ecosystem merging and creating advancement, when you go run through a couple quick examples, including the AFB. So with regard to the AFB, how does the AFB, Jared, and because nothing is ever linear, how does the AFB win, right? And in what different ways does the AFB win by creating an ecosystem merger with me, Sean Callaghy, and Unblinded? Like, how does the AFB win, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a multitude of ways, but I want to share some that are like, there's going to be great distinctions for everybody. So the AFB's win as a result of this ecosystem merger with Sean, with this movement, is access, and proximity is power, to this movement of changemaker entrepreneurs. And as a consequence of that, there's like really innovative and brilliant minds that are like hyper motivated to supporting AFB at this point, like, and thinking of unique ways to support, like not just, yeah, I'll write a check for a few bucks, but let's actually do things that can support this community. And that is the direct result of the access that AFB now has inside of our Unblinded movement. Also, the mic has power, and they're going to have a chance on stage in front of 1,500 people to talk about their mission and what the formula has meant to them. And that's the direct result of access to Sean, which is access to the Unblinded movement And it shortens time, because if the AFB tried to do this on their own, it would take years, probably forever, and would never actually happen. Whereas Sean sees this wonderful group of people and says, I want to give you access to my movement, which is filled with these innovative entrepreneurs and change makers. And like overnight, that becomes access to all of you. And we're just getting started. And that holds true with your ecosystem mergers as well. Yeah, go for it, Sean.
Yeah, so and absolutely true. And one of the things we're talking about is having a place for people to come to create a difference in the perspective of how they relate to blind people. And one of the things that I've been saying is I want to not only redefine how people react to blindness, and we're doing it in several ways. And this is going to, now from a content piece, we're now giving you the benefit of the breadth of approaches to ecosystem merger and what ecosystem merger looks like and means. But we're also doing is we're sharing how you can redefine terminology. So if you're an attorney, you want to redefine what people think when immediately you say attorney, they say. We say blind, they say. We did this the other day a little bit. Like that you say life insurance sales, they say. You say financial world, they say, right? So for all of us, there's this like disruptive component. So for the AFB, it's the same thing. You say charity, like they say. You say blind, they say. You say event, you know, like come to this event, they say. Like there's a reaction to every single word. So one of the things that's happening is we're supporting the disruption of the meaning of blindness, but not only because on the one hand, and it's always in multiple ways. It's never linear. So this moment, these calls, every single day of your life stands for the concept of the exponentiality of everything you're doing, the multiple of everything that you're doing. So it's not just me standing up and saying, hey, I'm blind, right? And the story is that my blindness is not the story. Like that's one way. Another way is simply by people interacting with me. And by ecosystem, watch this, by ecosystem merging with me, not only is there access to the Unblinded call, right? But I spoke in front of 5,000 people at Date with Destiny, and they knew I was blind, and that was not the conversation. And not like it was not even a part of the conversation. Sometimes it will be. Sometimes it won't be. Like it was one sentence in the conversation, and then I ripped it open as well on that stage, putting Tony aside, as anybody does at any event of his. And in fact, dare I say, I'll boldly claim this space. I own that room better than anyone owns that room except Tony in the limited time and the framework that I had. And so then all of a sudden, subconsciously, subtly, people are like, did that guy say he was blind? He didn't look blind. Are you sure he was blind? He didn't even talk about being blind. That was like weird. Is he blind? Or was he like kidding? And that's a part of the concept. So all of those things are happening for the AFB, right? And more. And more. It's also encouraging blind people to come to this event because Kirk is taking massive action. Ben Fox is taking massive action. All of a sudden, other blind disruptors that are successful in business, that are adventurers, those people have a place to congregate, to come together, to begin to talk together. And there's a physical space. There's an online space, the Facebook page. There's a phone call. All of those things are happening, and those things did not exist in the same way before. Guys, just mute yourself. Everybody mute yourself if you're not muted. Right? And thank you guys. On our team, everybody's muted coming into the calls. And I got to put *6 to unmute. Tiffany, yes? Okay. So in addition, Jared, how about for us? What does partnering with the AFB do for Unblinded? Like what things are happening differently because of that? And start listing them like bullets. I'll start. I don't get up onto the Tony Robbins stage. I am confident as consistently or maybe even at all to begin with, unless I am blind. And that dynamic with the AFB, having that message spread, they're knowing me, the relationship that we have leads to access to places much faster. So it's taking my disability and it's turning it into an asset. You go, wow, that's like, that's interesting. That's a lot to handle. Yeah, like it's great. Like I don't want to be blind, but I'm going to take every advantage that I possibly can in my heart because I am blind. If that inspires people, if that helps people say yes faster, of course I'm going to use that. Why wouldn't I? And by the way, I didn't for a long time. I didn't until about a year and a half ago because I was scared. I fucking flipped it. I felt weird, right? And I made a conscious decision on my own self-mastery to do that. So what more specifics, Jared, could you rattle off